Opening, the divine choice, my beloved child. Please, don't give up. I know you're tired. I see the weariness you carry behind your smile. I see the way you keep going, even when your soul feels empty. I see how you try to be strong for everyone, even when you barely feel held together inside. You hide the pain well, but you don't have to hide it from me. I chose you, not because you were strong, not because you had everything figured out, but because I love you, fully, gently, unconditionally. You were never a random choice. I never picked you by mistake. Even before you knew how to love, I loved you. Before you ever spoke my name, I had already whispered yours. Before you ever prayed, I had already been listening. Before you knew how to ask me for help, I had already placed my hand on your life. I know what you've been through. I know the unspoken pain. I know the parts of your story that no one else understands. There are things you've buried, deep fears you've never spoken, wounds you've tried to ignore, and moments that left a quiet ache in your spirit. But I have never walked away. Not once. Even in your darkest night, I was beside you. Even when everyone else left, I stayed. When you cried alone, I was the one who held your tears. You thought I was silent, but my silence was not absence. It was me, wrapping you in quiet love. Because sometimes, you don't need more noise. You just need presence. I didn't choose you to prove anything. I chose you so you would never walk this life alone. So you would know, you can be weak and still be completely loved. You don't have to try to impress me. I am not looking for perfection. I am looking for your heart. And, child, you have it. I've seen every part of your journey. Every time you blamed yourself. Every time you questioned if you were enough. Every time you looked in the mirror and didn't like who you saw. And still you are enough. You are enough to be loved. Enough to be forgiven. Enough to begin again. Enough to become something beautiful. Even after everything, don't let the exhaustion of today make you forget that I'm walking beside you step by step, breath by breath. You don't have to carry it all alone anymore. Let me carry it with you. When you're tired, let me strengthen you. When you feel empty, let me fill you. When you don't have the words to pray, I'll understand your silence. You are the one I chose. Not because of your strength, but because I saw something tender, something sacred, deep in your soul. I saw what others missed. I saw what even you couldn't see in yourself. And today, I want you to hear me clearly. You are not walking alone. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to do something big to prove your worth. You just need to believe that I love you and I'm not going anywhere. You were chosen with love, held with compassion, and carried by grace. And from this moment on, I want you to live knowing this truth, even on the days when everything feels heavy, even when you stumble, even when you doubt your purpose. I am still here, and I will not let you go. The past no longer defines you. My precious child, I know you've carried your past like a secret weight, one you've tried to hide behind strength, behind silence, behind a brave smile no one questions. I know there are things you wish had never happened, moments that replay in your mind like whispers that won't let go, choices made in fear, wounds received without warning, words that were spoken over you that still sting. You try to move forward, but the shadows of what used to be still reach for your ankles. And deep down, part of you wonders, am I still worthy of something good? So let me answer that for you. Child, yes, you are. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of healing. You are worthy of joy. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you are to me. You are not your mistakes. You are not your trauma. You are not your worst moments. You are mine. And I don't define you by your scars, I define you by my love. You've been carrying regret like a second skin. But child, I never asked you to wear it. I never placed shame on your shoulders. That voice that accuses you, it's not mine. It never was. I've watched you try to punish yourself for what I already forgave. You replay the scenes over and over, hoping somehow you can fix what's already in the past. But I don't ask you to fix the past. I ask you to surrender it, to place it gently in my hands and trust me to redeem it. Because nothing is wasted in my hands, not the broken years, not the nights filled with tears, not even the chapters you'd rather erase. I use it all. You are not a museum of regrets. You are a sacred garden. I am still watering. The soil may have been dry. The roots may have been buried deep in sorrow, but life is still rising from underneath. Hope is still pushing through the cracks. There is growth happening inside you, even if you can't yet see it. There are seeds planted by my mercy that will bloom in their season. The enemy wants you to stay bound to who you used to be, to believe that because you failed, you are a failure. But that is a lie. You are not disqualified. You are not damaged goods. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly where my grace meets you. And where my grace meets you, healing begins. Child, let go of the shame. Lay down the guilt. You don't have to keep earning what I already gave you freely. I forgave you completely, without hesitation, without delay. Not because you proved yourself, but because I chose you, and I don't change my mind. You still think you have to do more, be more, fix more. But what if I told you I love you right now, just as you are, not when you're perfect, not when your past feels far away, right here, right now? When I look at you, I don't see the brokenness first. I see the courage it took to keep going. I see the softness that never completely hardened. I see the child who still hopes, even if just a little. You've come so far already. Even on the days you felt like giving up, you didn't. Even when no one knew the battles you were facing inside, you still stood up and faced the day. That matters to me. You've survived what others never saw. You've walked through valleys in silence, and I walked beside you through every step. There was never a moment I left. Even when you felt most alone, I was near, closer than breath, holding the parts of you too fragile to carry alone. Now, I'm calling you to live like someone who is free, not pretending the past didn't happen, but knowing it no longer has the power to name you. Your past is not your identity. My love is. You are not who you were. You are who I am shaping you to become. And child, you are still becoming, still blooming, still worthy of the future I've prepared for you. The labels others gave you, let them go. The lies you told yourself, release them. Come back to the truth. You are my child. You are my delight. You are my beloved. There is more ahead of you than behind you. There is more peace than you've known, more joy than you've tasted, more beauty than you've imagined. So walk gently now. Don't rush. Don't strive. Just receive. Let me speak to the places that still feel unworthy. Let me whisper to the heart that still beats with shame. Let me place my hand over the past and write a new beginning. You've lived long enough under the weight of guilt. It's time to live under the lightness of grace. This is not about forgetting. This is about redefining. Your scars are no longer stories of failure. They are testimonies of survival, of mercy, of love that stayed. You're not beyond redemption. You are the very reason redemption exists. And I have never stopped loving you. I have never stopped believing in you. And I never will. When people don't understand you, my child, I know what it feels like when others don't understand you. When you offer your heart gently, and it's met with silence or suspicion. When you try to speak truth, but it's twisted or ignored. When you love with sincerity, only to be pushed away. You ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Why don't they see who I really am? Let me whisper what the world won't tell you. Their rejection does not reflect your value. It only reveals what they cannot yet see. You are not too much. You are not too intense. You are not too emotional, too quiet, too different, too anything. You are exactly how I made you on purpose. With care, there will always be people who walk away, people who misunderstand your heart, who misread your silence, who judge your growth. But child, listen, their inability to recognize your worth has nothing to do with your identity. They may not see it, but I do. And more importantly, I see what you don't. I see how their presence might have drained your spirit. I see the subtle ways their words chipped at your confidence. I see how your soul began to shrink just to stay in the room. So when some doors closed, it wasn't punishment. It was protection. When certain people walked out, it wasn't rejection. It was redirection. I wasn't removing people to hurt you. I was clearing the way so you could finally breathe, so you could grow, so you could rise. There are times when I must close a door not because you failed, but because what waits behind that door can no longer go with you where I'm taking you. You've prayed for peace, but peace cannot live in places where your heart is constantly questioned. You've prayed for clarity, but clarity often comes after the storm leaves, and so must some people. So if you're feeling alone right now, if your circle feels smaller than before, Don't assume that something's wrong. Sometimes, solitude is where I speak the loudest. Sometimes, silence is the sound of me rebuilding your life. Quietly, carefully. Child, not everyone can walk with you into this next chapter. And that's not a loss. That's wisdom. That's protection. That's me guarding your steps like a good father. I know the ache of being misunderstood. Even my son was rejected by those closest to him. Even the Savior of the world was called names, cast out, betrayed. So if they misunderstood him, they may misunderstand you too. But that doesn't change who you are. It doesn't lessen your light. It only means your calling is greater than their comfort. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't have to convince anyone to love you, right? You don't need validation from those who don't carry the eyes to see what I placed in you. You were not made to be accepted by all. You were made to be aligned with me. And when you walk with me, you will shine in ways that confuse the world. So let go of needing to be understood. Let go of the pain of not being seen. I see you. I understand you. I embrace every part of you. Even the parts you think are too complicated. Even the pieces you hide from others. I know it all. And still I delight in you. Don't harden your heart because of the rejection. Don't close yourself off to love because others mishandled it. What they didn't honor, I will restore. What they discarded, I will redeem. I will send people into your life who speak life, who love with consistency, who hold your heart gently, the way it deserves. But for now, don't rush it. Stay close to me. Let me be your confidence. Let me be your safe place. Let me teach you how to trust again, without fear of being broken, because when I close one door, I never leave you standing in the hallway alone. I'm already building the new place quietly, patiently, perfectly where your soul will find rest. And in time, you'll see, everything I took away was only to make space for something more beautiful. Call upon me, and I will answer. My beloved child, there are moments when you sigh, and no one else notices. There are nights you lie still, eyes wide open, heart heavy with things you can't quite name. But I know. Every silent beat of your heart, I hear it. Every unspoken prayer, I receive it. Every tear shed in solitude, I catch in my hands. Not a single moment goes unseen by me. Not one whisper falls into the void. Not one sorrow escapes my notice. You may feel like I'm silent. You may wonder if I've heard you. But child, I have been listening closer than ever. You don't need perfect words to draw near to me. You don't need to recite long prayers to get my attention. You don't have to present yourself well. You just have to be honest. Because I do not seek polished words. I seek a surrendered heart. You don't have to have it all together. You just have to be willing to come. Even when your voice trembles, even when all you can manage is a whisper, I hear it. There are prayers you haven't even spoken yet, and I've already heard them from the depths of your soul. There are groans too deep for words, but to me, they are the purest form of prayer. You ask, Father, do you still hear me when I'm weak? Yes. Do you still listen when I'm unsure? Yes. What if I don't even know what to say? Still yes. Because my love for you has never been based on how strong your faith sounds. I love you because you are mine fully, endlessly, forever. You've cried more than you remember, but every tear is a seed I've watered with grace. They do not fall meaninglessly to the ground. They are sacred. They are seen. And from them, I bring new life. Don't ever believe your prayers are too small. Don't think your requests are unworthy of my attention. If it matters to your heart, it matters to mine. When you speak to me about the little things, I smile. Because that's the relationship I long for with you, closeness, intimacy, nothing between us. I'm not a distant God who waits for you to earn access to my presence. I am your Father, always listening, even when you don't know how to speak. And yes, I answer, not always in the way you expect, but always in the way you need. Sometimes I open doors. Sometimes I close them. Sometimes I build a completely new path where you thought there was no way. I've seen the moments you believed your prayers were wasted. But child, not one prayer is wasted in my kingdom. Even your silence when it comes from a heart that still trusts is a holy prayer. Even the weary breath that escapes your lips at 3 a.m. reaches me. I don't ask you to come when you're strong. It's when you are weak that your prayers pierce the deepest into my heart. Come to me. Bring the mess. Bring the doubts. Bring the weariness. Bring the faith that's barely holding on. I am here, always. Arms open, heart listening, voice whispering, call on me, and I will answer. Not might. Not if you're good enough. Not if you've waited long enough. I will. Because I do not lie. I do not grow distant. I do not forget my promises. And you, child, are the promise I've loved since the beginning. Even now, when it seems like nothing is happening, I am moving in the unseen. Even when the outside feels still within your soul, I am stirring something new. Do not stop talking to me. Even if it's a whisper, even if it's a sigh, even if your words are broken, I hear every single one. You don't need to qualify for prayer. You were born into it through the love of a Father who desires nothing more than your voice. Prayer is not a performance. Prayer is not a test. Prayer is the sacred conversation between me and the one I adore. And I adore you. Wherever you are, however you feel, no matter what you've done, I am listening. So speak to me, child. Speak when you're happy. Speak when you're tired. Speak when you're scared. Speak even when all you have left is a whisper. Say my name even softly and I am there. Because to me, your whisper is louder than any choir in heaven. And I will answer with my presence. With peace that surpasses understanding, with gentle light through the night, because I'm not only the God who listens, I am the Father who responds perfectly, patiently, faithfully. Your family, your battle, and my promises. My beloved child, I know your heart when it comes to your family. I know the parts you don't tell anyone, the silent burdens, the quiet heartbreak, the moments when you weep for people who don't even know you're weeping for them. You carry them inside your prayers like hidden treasure, precious, painful, heavy. You smile for them. You fight for them. And still, you wonder, are my prayers making a difference? Let me assure you, yes. More than you can possibly see right now. Even when nothing on the outside changes. Even when words go unspoken or conversations turn cold. I am working beneath the surface. There are things shifting in the unseen. Hearts softening behind hardened expressions. Memories resurfacing in the night. Forgiveness being stirred in the quiet corners of the soul. Because what's broken in your family is not too broken for me. What you call shattered, I call restorable. I don't step back from the mess. I step into it redemptively, intentionally, tenderly. I see the son who's wandered, the daughter who's silent, the parent who's grown distant, the spouse whose eyes no longer shine like they used to. And I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not confused. I am not late. I am already moving in ways that will take your breath away, but in my time, not yours. I know how hard you've tried to hold things together, how often you've swallowed your own sorrow to be the strong one for others, how many times you've kept peace by sacrificing your own voice. But child, listen to me now. This is not yours to carry alone. I never asked you to fix everyone. I never asked you to be their savior. I only asked you to love and to trust me, to do what only I can. You are not their healer. I am. So, release them to me. Each one. By name. Lay them down at my feet, not just once, but every time the burden rises again. When you pray for them, you're not speaking into empty air. You're sowing seeds into soil that I am tilling with my own hands. And in due season, what you prayed in tears will bloom into testimony. You've wondered, but what if they never change? What if I never see the breakthrough? My answer to you is this: faith does not wait to see before it believes. Faith believes because I said it. And I have spoken promises over your household. I have written my word above your doorposts. I have dispatched angels to stand guard around your home. Your family is not forgotten. Your story is not over. Your legacy is not lost. Even the generational wounds that have echoed from one life to the next, I am breaking them. The curse ends with you. The healing begins with me. You may not see the full picture now, but trust that I do. And it's more beautiful than anything you've imagined. You see conflict. I see restoration in process. You see disconnection. I see roots being reset. You see silence. I hear me preparing a song of reconciliation. So don't measure your family's future by what you see today. Measure it by who I am. I am the God who restored Joseph's broken family. I am the God who turned Ruth's loss into legacy. I am the God who brought the prodigal home running, repenting, redeemed. And I am still that same God. For you, for your family, right now. Even when you pray and feel like no one hears, I hear. Even when you love without being loved in return, I see. Even when you forgive and they don't yet understand why, I remember every act of grace you've sown. I've been with you in every family dinner where words were few and emotions loud. I've stood beside you as you prayed quietly in the kitchen, while everyone else pretended nothing was wrong. I've watched you weep in the hallway, in the car, in the bathroom with the door locked, just asking for one sign that things will be okay. This is that sign. I'm here, and I'm not leaving. What feels like delay is preparation. What feels like silence is me rewriting the ending. What feels like absence is me drawing close in a deeper way. I'm not just fixing personalities. I'm healing root wounds. I'm correcting unseen patterns. I'm not building a surface-level solution. I'm crafting generational change. And I know that's not always fast or easy, but it's lasting and it's holy. So here's what I ask you to do. Keep loving even when it's costly. Keep forgiving even when it feels unfair. Keep showing up even when no one notices. Because your faithfulness is creating an atmosphere where miracles can breathe. One day, you'll look around the table and realize the walls have come down, that laughter has returned, that the coldness is thawed, that the love you prayed for now lives right in front of you. Until that day, don't stop praying. Don't stop believing. Don't stop surrendering them to me. Because while you've been fighting in prayer, I've been fighting in spirit. And every promise I've made over your house, over your marriage, over your children, will come to pass. I don't forget. I don't delay without purpose. And I don't start anything I don't intend to finish. So take heart, my child. Let peace return to your soul. Let go of the pressure to make it happen. That's my role. Yours is to trust. And as you do, watch what I unfold beautifully, gently, perfectly. In my time, strength to stand again. My child, you've already overcome so much, more than most will ever know, more than even you fully realize. You've walked through storms in silence, fought battles behind smiles, and stood tall in rooms that made your soul feel small. You've survived things that tried to destroy your faith, and you're still here, still breathing, still reaching for me. That alone is a testimony. But I know you're tired. There's a kind of exhaustion that sleep can't fix. It's the weariness of a soul that's held on longer than it thought it could. The kind that doesn't cry out loudly but sighs in quiet surrender. I see it. I feel it. And child, I want you to know this. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not broken because you need help. Even the strongest soldiers fall to their knees. Even the bravest warriors have moments when they say, "Father, I don't know if I can keep going." And when you reach that moment, I don't step back. I step in. I kneel beside you on the battlefield. I place my hand on your back, and I whisper, "You don't have to finish this fight alone." You see, strength isn't always standing tall. Sometimes, real strength is letting me carry you when your legs give out. You are not failing when you rest. You are not quitting when you lay your burdens at my feet. You are not less faithful when you whisper instead of roar. There's a quiet kind of victory, the kind that comes when you surrender. When you finally unclench your fists and place everything in my hands, that's the moment heaven leans in. That's the moment the battle begins to turn. Not because of your force, but because of your faith. You've tried, haven't you? You've tried to be strong for everyone, to hold it all together, to smile through the storm, to pray when it hurt, to believe when nothing changed. And now, your strength is running low. But child, listen, when your strength ends, mine begins. That's not failure. That's partnership. That's the beauty of being loved by a father who never grows weary. I've seen every tear you've held back. Every morning you got up anyway. Every day you didn't quit. Every prayer you whispered through gritted teeth. All of it matters to me. All of it is seen. You've kept going, not because life was easy, but because something deep inside you refused to let go of me. And now, I want you to let go in a different way. Not giving up, but giving over. Surrendering not in defeat, but in trust. There's a time to fight, and there's a time to fall into my arms and let me be your strength. You've carried the weight long enough. Now let me carry you. I don't love you for how strong you are. I love you because you are mine. And that means you never have to prove anything to me. The world may not honor your quiet endurance, but I do. The world may not celebrate your inner battles, but heaven does. I do. You are not invisible to me. Not when you stand tall. Not when you collapse in tears. I see it all, and I honor your courage. You've made it through nights you thought would break you. You've walked through fire and come out with faith still intact. Yes, your armor has dents. Yes, your soul has bruises. But you are still a soldier. Still mine. Still called. Still loved. I am not asking you to pretend anymore. I'm not asking you to fake strength. I'm inviting you to rest. Let me refresh you. Let me rebuild you. Let me breathe life back into the parts of you that have gone quiet from fatigue. Come to me, not just when you're ready to run again, but when you can barely crawl, especially then. I do some of my most powerful work when my children stop trying to impress me and simply allow me to embrace them. Victory isn't always loud. Sometimes it's found in the soft rhythm of healing, in the deep exhale of trust, in the steady return of hope after a long silence. You are not losing the battle. You are being led differently through it now. Not by force, but by faith. Not by speed, but by surrender. Not by the world's measure of success, but by the weight of grace that carries those who dare to fall into my arms. So rest. Child, let your head lean against my shoulder. Let your soul unclench. Let your guard down. I am your shield. I am your strength. I am your victory. And I am not done with you. There are still battles to win. Still promises to fulfill. Still days ahead filled with light. But for now, just breathe. Just be. Just let me hold you. You've stood long enough. Now let me lift you. And when you're ready, we'll rise together. But until then, you are still victorious. Even in the rest. Even in the quiet. Even when you can no longer stand on your own. Because I, your Father, am standing for you. Spiritual growth amidst adversity. Growth often feels like loss at first. But heaven sees the roots strengthening. My child. Every challenge you've faced has carried more purpose than you know. I know there are times when you've whispered, why this? Why now? Why me? But what feels like a detour is often the very path I've chosen to grow you into who you're becoming. I never waste a season. Not the painful ones. Not the waiting one. Not even the ones where you feel like you're standing still. Because you're not standing still, you're growing deeper. You just don't see it yet. You see disappointment. I see foundation. You feel buried. But child, I'm planting you. And what looks like loss is actually how roots form. Growth feels like loss at first, but heaven sees the roots strengthening. You've been praying for strength. And I've allowed pressure, not to crush you, but to shape you. You've asked me to grow your faith. And I've answered, not by handing you certainty, but by inviting you to trust me in the dark. Because trust, that's only alive in the light, is not yet trust. It's comfort. But the kind of trust I'm building in you is different. It's deeper. It holds in the middle of storms. It believes before seeing. It endures without applause. Child, you are not being punished. You are being prepared. I'm removing the shallow. I'm deepening the eternal. I'm shifting your gaze from the seen to the unseen. You've said, God, I feel like I've lost everything. But what if I told you you haven't lost yourself? You've been finding who you truly are in me. You haven't lost your way. You've been walking a path that's no longer about performance, but about presence. Because I'm not trying to build someone impressive, I'm forming someone immovable. And that takes time. That takes fire. That takes pruning. And yes, sometimes that takes heartbreak. But every time something was taken from you, I was holding what mattered most. I never let go of you. Even when things fell apart on the outside, on the inside, I was rebuilding your foundation. Not on approval, not on success, not on ease, but on me. I am the steady place in every shifting storm. I know it's hard. I know you miss what once was. I know you wonder if joy will return. And it will, but this time, it will be joy rooted in something deeper. Not joy dependent on circumstance, but joy anchored in my presence. Joy that doesn't come and go, but remains. This adversity you're facing, it's not just resistance, it's training. I am training your spirit to hear. my whisper when the noise gets loud. I am training your eyes to see me in the shadows. I am training your hands to hold peace even when the world offers panic. You asked me for purpose, and now you're walking through the process. This isn't the end of your story. It's the middle, the sacred middle, the holy ground where deeper things grow. And though others may not see the work I'm doing in you, I see it. And heaven celebrates it, because faith that endures is more precious than gold. It's in this adversity that your roots have dug deeper than ever before. And child, you are becoming unshakable. You no longer break the way you used to. You no longer run the way you once did. You stand tired, but still faithful. Weary, but still reaching for me. And that, my child, is worship. That is growth. That is power. That is victory. Don't measure your spiritual progress by how strong you feel. Measure it by the truth that you are still here, still listening, still trying, still saying yes to me when quitting would be easier. Every step you've taken in pain has been a seed of glory, and not one of them will return void. I see how much you've stretched, how you've humbled yourself, how you've said, not my will, but yours. And child, I'm so proud of you. You've chosen surrender when bitterness would have been easier. You've chosen hope when it hurt to believe again. You've chosen to stay close when you had every reason to shut me out. And because of that, you are rising. You may not feel it yet, but soon, what I've grown in the dark will begin to break the surface. Others will see it. But more importantly, you'll feel it. You'll feel peace that doesn't make sense. You'll feel confidence that has nothing to do with the world. You'll feel compassion that comes from your own scars. You'll feel me more real, more present, more permanent than ever before. So stay with me, even here, especially here. This isn't just adversity, it's transformation. And you, my beloved child, are becoming something eternal. Your role in my plan. My child, you were made on purpose. With purpose? For purpose. There is nothing accidental about you. Not your birth, not your gifts, not even the battles you faced. Before you took your first breath, I already knew your name. I already saw your face. I already breathed destiny into your being. You may look at your life and see confusion, mistakes, detours, and delays. But I see a story, a sacred unfolding, and you are a page within it. A page I am still writing. There are things I placed in you that no one else carries. Pieces of me woven into your personality, your passion, your compassion, your resilience. You don't need to try to be someone else. You are not a copy. You are an original, designed in the image of your Creator, marked with purpose only you can fulfill. The world may not always recognize it. Even those closest to you may misunderstand what I'm doing inside you. But I haven't overlooked you. I haven't skipped your page. I'm still writing, and what comes next is worth waiting for. You've asked me, God, what is my purpose? And I say this gently, you are already walking in it. It's not always a title. It's not always a spotlight. Sometimes, it's the quiet choice to love again, the daily decision to stay faithful, the patient heart that keeps forgiving, the moments no one sees but I do. Because your role in my plan isn't just about what you do, it's about who you are becoming. And right now, in this very season, I am shaping the kind of character that can carry my calling. You don't need to force what's next. You don't need to worry about the how. Obedience in the now is the bridge to what's coming. What you consider small, I call sacred. The kindness you showed when your heart was still bleeding, that mattered. The prayer you whispered when no one knew you were breaking, that moved heaven. The burdens you carried with no reward or applause, those were seen by me. And I, your father, do not forget faithfulness. I write legacy through hearts that remain soft. I change nations through souls who remain surrendered. So don't underestimate your role. Your yes matters more than you know. The world teaches you to chase recognition. But I invite you to embrace significance, not in being known by many, but in being known deeply by me. Because, child, you are not just part of the plan. You are part of the answer to someone else's prayer. Every person you love well, every wound you heal through me, every truth you live out ripples through eternity. I've placed you in this generation for a reason. In this family, this city, this season, this time in history, on purpose. You've asked me, am I enough? Yes. Because I never called the already qualified, I qualify the ones who trust me. So if you feel inadequate, you're exactly where I need you, dependent, open, teachable, available. I don't need perfection from you. I need surrender. I don't expect clarity. I honor obedience. You may not know where all of this leads, but you're not lost. You're being led. And if you follow me, I will take you places your confidence could never reach, but your faith always could. There will be days the path feels hidden, moments when your role feels small, seasons where progress feels like silence. But in every one of those places, I am still with you. I am walking ahead, clearing what you cannot see. I am walking behind, protecting what you don't even know is chasing you. I am walking beside you, whispering, keep going. You are right where I need you. The calling on your life will not pass you by. The door I open cannot be closed by man, and the voice I've placed within you will be heard when the time is right. But listen closely, child. My voice does not echo in chaos. It whispers through peace. So don't chase the noise. Don't strive to be louder. Don't confuse visibility with value. If you want to hear me, slow down. Breathe. Come away from the world's clamor. Be still. And there, in the quiet, I will speak. I will remind you who you are. I will remind you who I am. And I will show you why I placed you here. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not misplaced. You are mine. You are part of the melody I'm composing, a line in the poem, a verse in the eternal song. You are a page in a bigger story, and I am still writing. So let me write. Let me lead. Let me finish what I've started in you. And trust, with every breath, you matter. When you feel forgotten, I am near. You didn't survive that storm on your own. That was me. You were never forgotten. You were always held. My precious child, I know there are days when you wonder if I still see you. When your prayers feel like echoes, when your heart whispers, did God forget me? I haven't. Not for a moment. I see the way you keep showing up when nothing seems to change. I see the courage it takes to get out of bed when your soul feels heavy. I see the tears you cry in silence, not for attention, but because your heart aches for something deeper. And I need you to know this. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible to me. You are not alone. Even in the silence, I am here. Especially in the silence. You may not always feel my presence, but feelings are not facts. My presence is not determined by your emotion. It is anchored in my promise. And I promised you this: I will never leave you nor forsake you. You've walked through nights when hope felt like a rumor. You've endured seasons when answers didn't come. And yet you're still here, still breathing, still reaching. That is no small thing. You say, I don't know how I made it through that season, but I do. Because, child, you didn't walk through that storm alone. That was me. When you were drowning in grief, I was the breath that kept you afloat. When anxiety crushed your chest, I was the steady beat beneath the panic. When your world fell apart, I was the one holding the pieces. You didn't survive because you were lucky. You survived because I carried you. Remember that time when the door closed and you thought it was the end, then something better appeared that you never saw coming? That was me. Remember the time you were on the edge emotionally, spiritually, and peace arrived like a soft wind when you least expected it? That was me. Remember when someone texted, called, showed up, said something kind just when you needed it? That was me too. I have been weaving quiet miracles into the background of your days long before you noticed. I have been faithful, even when you've forgotten how to believe. You've looked at others and thought, God must be working in their lives, but I don't see him in mine. But child, you're comparing their highlight reel to your hidden process. I don't just work in the spotlight. I work in the deep soil where roots take hold and foundations are made strong. That's where I've been growing you. In the unseen, in the quiet, in the waiting. Not forgotten, but being formed. You've never been out of my sight, never out of my heart, never out of reach. Even in your silence, I've heard your soul speaking. Even when your words ran out, I understood your tears, your sighs, your long stares out the window. All of it was prayer to me. I'm not asking you to fake faith. I'm asking you to remember who I am. I am the same God who brought you through what you thought would break you, the same Father who stayed when others walked away, the same Savior who whispered, not yet. When you thought giving up was the only way out. And I'm still that God. Still that Father. Still here. You've looked up and said, Lord, do you still see me? Yes. More than ever. You've said, why does this feel so quiet? Because sometimes, child, I do my most powerful work in sacred silence. When I am near, you don't need to strain to hear me. You don't need to chase me. You just need to be still. Because I'm not far. I'm not delayed. I'm not distant. I'm closer than your breath. Closer than your thoughts. Closer than your fear. Even now, as you listen to these words, I'm placing my hand on your heart. I'm reminding you, you are mine. You were never meant to carry life alone. You were made to walk with me, step by step, day by day, tear by tear, victory by victory. Even when no one else notices what you're going through, I do. Even when your hands are trembling, your prayers are faint, your smile is fragile, I celebrate the fact that you're still choosing me, because your faith in the dark is more beautiful to me than praise sung in the spotlight. You are not forgotten. You are being remembered into greatness. You are being watched over, protected, preserved. You are being guided, even in the quiet. So when you feel forgotten, speak this truth, my Father is near. Say it when you feel empty. Say it when the silence stretches long. Say it even if you're unsure, because I will respond. I will remind you of what I've already brought you through. I will remind you that you are not here by accident. I will remind you that the story isn't over yet. And child, the chapter ahead will not be written in silence, but in the sound of breakthrough. You will laugh again. You will dance again. You will sing again. And you will remember, I was never forgotten. I was always held. Renewal starts today. My beloved child, take a breath. Let the weight on your shoulders fall for a moment. Let me speak softly to your soul. Today is not like yesterday. Today is the beginning of something new. You are not walking in circles. You are not stuck in what was. You are stepping into what I have prepared intentionally, lovingly, patiently for you. You've carried pain for so long. It became normal. You've walked with fear beside you, as if it belonged. But now, I'm asking you to leave that behind. You've mourned what was lost. You've questioned what was taken. You've asked if too much time has passed. But hear me now, nothing is ever too far gone when it rests in my hands. I've restored what was dead. I've made beauty from ashes. I've turned deserts into gardens. And I'm doing the same for you. This is the turning point. This is where healing meets forward motion. This is the place where your soul remembers how to breathe. You've tried before to start again, to believe again, to live again. And yes, you've stumbled. You've grown weary. You've questioned if you're strong enough to try again. But child, this time is different. Because this time, I'm walking with you, not behind you, not waiting for you to figure it out. I'm beside you, step for step. I've gone before you. I've cleared the path. You're stepping into a field I've cleared of thorns. What once tore at your feet can no longer stop you. What once haunted you has no place in this chapter. The voices of shame, the lies of fear, the guilt that clung to your soul, I silence them now. They do not follow you forward. You are not walking in reaction to the past. You are walking in response to my promise. And here is that promise. I will make all things new. Even you. I am not restoring the old version of you. I am revealing the truest version, the one I saw before the world wounded you, before fear wrapped itself around your heart, before the losses tried to define your worth. You don't have to hustle to be healed. You don't have to force peace to find you. It's already waiting right here, in my presence. Come back to me. Come back to who you are with me. Come back not as the broken one, but as the beloved one. Not as the failure, but as the chosen. Not to strive, but to receive. Because this moment, this still, sacred moment, is the doorway to your renewal. You don't have to do everything at once. You just need to say yes. One quiet yes. One brave step. One choice to trust again. And I will meet you there, like I always have. Your future is not fragile, because I hold it. Your hope is not foolish, because I authored it. Your healing is not a myth, because I paid for it. I am not rushing you. I am not impatient with you. I am here calm, constant, close. And I am saying, start again. But this time, walk in peace, not in fear of falling, not in shame for the past, not in anxiety for tomorrow. Walk forward with shoulders light, with heart open, with steps steady, because you are walking into the life I designed for you. A life not ruled by pressure, but led by peace. A life not chained to regret, but built on redemption. I'm not interested in performance. I'm inviting you into presence. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for your hand. Let me walk with you. Let me rebuild with you. Let me breathe new strength into your weary bones. And as you walk, you'll see the evidence of what I've prepared. Joy rising from the soil of sorrow. Laughter returning where silence lived too long. Light streaming into places you thought were sealed forever. This is not fantasy. This is faith becoming reality. Because where I am, newness is always possible. So lift your eyes. Not in pride, but in courage. Lift your head because shame no longer belongs to you. Lift your soul because I have called you forward. You were not created to live stuck in survival. You were created to thrive in my presence. So come back. Come freely. Come as you are. And this time walk in peace.